But now that we have all this institutional involvement, we have things like the Clarity Act coming, you're going to have probably another 500 million to 1 billion users entering the space as the Magnificent Seven come in and they integrate crypto into their platforms. We're already starting to see the banks come in because of the Genius Act, and these create disruptions that are unpredictable.
And just like that, Bitcoin has reclaimed what could have been resistance, now once again support. You can see that Bitcoin is once again over this key trend line and very close to breaking all-time highs of over $124,000. I expect Bitcoin's price to skyrocket once it clears $125,000. Ethereum clears $4,500, and even more than that, look at this. Key resistance is now support. This massive wedge that's been forming since the top of 2021 has now flipped bullish. We broke out of this resistance back in July, and now we retested this resistance now in October. I expect a massive move coming, especially as the largest financial institution on the globe, Swift, just demoed a tokenization platform using Ethereum. I won't play you the video, it's pretty boring, but the fact that Swift is doing this is huge. Ethereum is 9% away from an all-time high from 2021. This is not a drill. Ethereum is going a lot higher because once we break above 4,800, which is the all-time high from back here, Ethereum will enter price discovery mode. $10,000 is right around the corner, especially knowing that 7 times more Ethereum is being bought by digital asset treasuries in the last 3 months than issued in the last 3 years. Ethereum went up 108% in that time. Where will Ethereum be in 3 years? And we know that this will continue as Tom Lee's Bitmine adds another nearly 1 billion worth of Ethereum, now holding 265 million ETH worth 11 billion. Smash the like button if you've been with us for a while. We kept your head in the game. We kept you on track. We told you that this was going to happen. And now Bloomberg is saying it. Just in, Bloomberg just said on live TV that we have entered Uptober for Bitcoin.
Here's a quick check on crypto prices as we begin the so-called month of October with strong gains. Traders are betting of a rebound after one of the harshest sell-offs in months. Cryptocurrencies shed roughly $300 billion last week as a wave of leveraged bets unraveled, but things may be looking up this month with Bitcoin ending in the green in the last 6 Octobers. Ether, by the way, also historically strong this month with the exception of 2018 and 2024.
So the big question is, what happens next? Cardano Founder was just interviewed today at Token 2045 in Singapore. He says Bitcoin's price is going to $250,000 by early to mid 2026. And he doesn't just say it, he explains exactly why. Listen to this.
I want to get you to look into the crystal ball in terms of pricing. Where do you think Bitcoin is going? And linked to that, where Ethereum is headed?
Yeah. So I think all the alts are going to enjoy a nice spike, but typically there's a lag. So Bitcoin goes up, it stalls, and then the alts come up, and then the market goes down, it reaches a new plateau. We sit there for a few years, and then we go up. Those cycles were retail driven, and they were every 4 years. But now that we have all this institutional involvement, we have things like the Clarity Act coming, you're going to have probably another 500 million to 1 billion users entering the space as the Magnificent Seven come in and they integrate crypto into their platforms. We're already starting to see the banks come in because of the Genius Act, and these create disruptions that are unpredictable because that's a different kind of capital than these retail cycles that we have. So in terms of price, I still firmly believe that Bitcoin's probably going to peak somewhere around 250,000 sometime next year. And
sometime next year is middle of next year?
Yeah, probably about middle of next year. It just depends on the macroeconomics.
And Ethereum?
It's hard to say, but usually you see a proportionality with those types of things. So I could see another 30 to 50%, but I'm the worst trader in the world, so don't take any financial advice from me.
Where do cryptocurrencies go from here?
Well, the demand is still incredibly strong. We got a lot of things to look forward to. The Clarity Act is likely going to get passed, and that's going to bring a lot of institutional players in. User growth is strong. Institutional demand for Bitcoin is very strong. A lot of innovation, a lot of new projects. projects. VC is a little stagnant during these time periods, but it'll pick up in the last part of the quarter and early next quarter. So I think probably middle of next year, $250,000 Bitcoin. The challenge for cryptocurrencies is it has to decide what kind of asset it wants to be. Does it want to be a tech stock, or does it want to be like a contrarian, counter-cyclical thing when the government's not doing well? And some days it wakes up and it says, hey, when the dollar's weak, crypto's strong, and other days it wakes up and it says it'll follow the dollar or follow tech stocks. So we'll figure that out this cycle as the institutions come in and they figure out how they want to trade it and what bets they want to have. But there's just simply put too many people and too much money coming to space relative to the supply. So I think we're still headed towards a bull market. Just stuff happens, like the tariffs and the fight over interest rates and these things, and we're not immune to the macro. You know, we live within that, and when there's geopolitics or bigger economic concerns, people get a bit more conservative and they wait to deploy capital.
So we're seeing policy put in place that will send quality cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano into the stratosphere. Did you know? Breaking news, the US Treasury just exempted Bitcoin and crypto from 15% corporate minimum tax. This is huge for companies like Michael Saylor's Strategy. Basically, TLDR, this would eliminate a potential multi-billion-dollar tax liability for companies like Strategy that hold substantial crypto reserves. So right now they're doing this for corporations. Huge, because corporations have tons of money to buy these assets. The question is, will they do something like this for the retail holders? Stay tuned. For Trillion JPMorgan, which has already begun onboarding crypto into their tech and ecosystem because of all the good policy being passed, JPMorgan is now putting themselves on record saying Bitcoin is undervalued. One, because confidence in fiat currency is waning. They're telling you higher. Two, because of all the policy being put in place, which means institutions, banks, big, high net worth individuals, countries can now onboard and use crypto and hold crypto like they've never been able to before. I don't think most people realize what the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, just laid out the next 3 to 5 years. Crypto is 3 to 5 years away from taking over the world, Cardano founder explains. Again, this is a fresh interview from today.
So you're talking about a coexistence between traditional finance and what we have right now, what you represent. I just had a conversation with Vlad Tenev of Robinhood. He talks about how cryptocurrencies will be the backbone of the financial system.
Yeah.
Will it be?
I think so. I mean, tokens are like financial stem cells. They can be heart cells and brain cells, and so they can be securities or commodities or currencies or intellectual property. And having T0 24/7 global settlement with full programmability is a really powerful thing. The only thing we're missing is selective disclosure and rational privacy. You need to have the ability to do private smart contracts to sort out the private side from the public side, and that's where the industry's at right now, solving that last mile problem. Once you have it, you can pull everything together, and then you can be a superset to broker-dealers and superset to custodians and all this other stuff that runs the legacy world. And at that point, there's no reason to run on the legacy systems. You want to run the crypto systems because there's far more liquidity.
And when will that happen?
Within the next 3 to 5 years. And the big challenge was regulation, but the regulation's getting done. You know, Clarity Act will probably be passed in October, and then it'll be about 2 to 3 years of rulemaking between the SEC and the CFTC, and then every jurisdiction, the MiCA framework in Europe, or Abu Dhabi's ADGM, or here the Singapore Monetary Authority, will have to be interoperable with that financial set. And it's not going to just talk about tokens, it's going to talk about securities laws and taxes and custodial standards, and then we as an industry can adapt our software accordingly, and then all the securities will enter in. That's $10 trillion on the blockchain space, and then everything else is the sky's the limit. So we've basically won as an industry.
Do not worry, Cardano holders. Charles Hoskinson did not miss his chance to talk about ADA and why he thinks the U.S. Strategic Reserve decided to include ADA and also many other cryptocurrencies in their strategic reserve. He explains here.
It has reignited the debate whether Cardano is sound money or not.
Well, we're deflationary like Bitcoin, and I'd argue that we're in the same category as that. But then, you get to this definition of what is sound money, and is Bitcoin money, or is it digital gold or not? But regardless, the magic of what we've been building with Cardano is the ecosystem. It's the millions of people that are there. It's the decentralization. And in fact, we've been running for 8 years straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never been hacked, never gone down. There's a foundational reliability there, which is why the U.S. government likes it. They tweeted about it. It's going return of the reserve. And it's also why a lot of institutional people like Cardano is one of the blue chips of the industry.
You know, the stock market has just been going up for years and years. Every dip has been bought up in the stock market. The stock market has done a great job of punishing people for selling too early. I think we're about to see that in crypto again, like 2017, where people get nervous selling and watching it go back higher, buying back again. This is how we get a sustained rally. You know, people who sell Bitcoin when it reaches 130K, then watch it go to 140, 150K, then buy back higher, sending it to 160K, or maybe that happens with Ethereum or XRP or Solana or what have you. I mean, how can you take a look at this Ethereum chart and not be bullish? Again, smash the like button, subscribe to Altcoin Daily. We keep you in tune on the entire market on a daily basis. If you're interested in making money in crypto, make sure you subscribe and let me know. I think, based on a lot of your comments, I think a lot of you are doing really well in crypto. Let me know in the comments. There has never been a better time to be in crypto and be serious about crypto. The point is this, my friends, and if you follow us on Twitter, you've probably already engaged. We've waited 4 years for the next 3 months in crypto. A lot of people are making money trading crypto right now. I have my HODL position, I have my trading position. You can make more money trading crypto and earn $100,000 extra in trading and sign-up bonuses. So, no KYC, try BitUnex today. It's just like when Uber and Lyft got started. They both were offering customers massive money incentives to use their platform. And the same thing is happening with exchanges, and this is the best exchange promotion I've ever seen, so take advantage of this before it's too late. I'm going to link these guys below. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. We have massive interviews with massive guests coming to you this month, so stay tuned, stay subscribed. We will give you the edge in crypto you need, just like we have been doing for the past 7, almost 8 years. See you tomorrow, my friends.